the problem with Linux is twofold. Actually, this really weird pipeline from like Linux to like putting all these like stupid pride flags in your on your laptop. Like that go into any Reddit subreddit or go into Arch or something like that, and you'll actually see that pipeline. It's like, well, you like Linux, well, I guess it's the freedom whatever. It's this really weird pipeline. Okay. So I don't know what that pipeline is, but it exists. There's this pipeline that sends you down there, which means that sometimes most of the people over on like the Linux side aren't the nicest and they aren't for the most GUI, have the most GUI support. But also that means that the one advertising model of all these like alt tech niche things on both sides of the spectrum is privacy, 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 privacy. We don't want the government spying. Privacy, 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 privacy. I mean, that's been overdone. The privacy market and the spin-off uh, market of uh, what's it called? Minimalist technology. Phones like the Light phone, which I basically called a scam, or even a No phone, which is basically a scam. It's a empty bag that they're selling for $17, or even like a brick or whatever. And even sometimes the kid Gab Bark phone, whatever. Like these companies are all spin-offs of one another. This has already been overdone. People already know that well think that these companies are spying on them, right? They already think that, right? If you want privacy, you can find all these services. That's an overdone, it's an overcooked market. So for any for any company to come in here and say, oh, privacy, 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 that's been done, been there, done that, right? You already have your alt tech, you already have your alt search engines, you already have your alt social media, you already have your alt everything. You got Blue Sky, you got Gab, you got FreeSpoke, you got DuckDuckGo, you got your stripped down Google phones, even your feature phones that are just running ASLP, right? So for any true third party applications to thrive, OS to thrive, you cannot bank on the privacy or alt market. That market is already oversaturated, right? So anyway, let's go to this Linux phone here, which is a true third party phone here, and they have their own OS, and it looks decent, right? And and I'm not even talking about Linux community overall as a broader context of things. But what I said, like that weird pipeline where you go to Linux, and like, oh, I really care about Linux, and then it's just like you go over to the Arch subreddit. That's where all these people hang out. Arch Linux, and oh, nope, it's not there anymore. But I think it's some Linux subreddit that had pride flags, and of course you can see like a Linux computer, all these pride flag stickers on the back of the computers as well. So, um, anyway, the pipeline is really, really strong there in the Linux community. So that's also, it's weird. It's off-putting. As also, it's like, why do I have to use the terminal for everything? Why is it so confusing? Why do the websites look like it's from 2007? And can you please stop talking about free beer, free speech? I do not care. Okay, I just want my phone to work. I want it to run my applications, right? But anyway, the other problem with the Pine, with the Pine phones is that this third party OS, and let's look at these specs. And this is a phone that's being sold in the year of our Lord 2024. This is December 12th. No, I read the date wrong. It is December um the 14th. Okay, so it's almost 2025. Okay, let's listen to these specs. You have this GPU, CPU, whatever. I don't. It's not using a brand name chip, so we don't really know how good the specs are. But you can infer it from these specs. Oh, it's actually 128 gigabytes of storage now, so I have to update article. It's still bad, but 128 gigabytes of storage. Only 4 gigabytes of RAM. Only 6-inch LCD screen. You can probably that chip's probably not good anyway. 13 megapixel camera, 8 megapixel camera. That's it. I mean, do you know what phone had 13 and 8 megapixel cameras? I know it wasn't wide angle back then, but even though, in fact, I have to say back then, I think the Galaxy Note 4 had a wide angle, not a wide angle, but like they called it wide angle, a camera, 16 megapixels. Okay, so this is literally probably worse than the Galaxy Note 4. I'm pretty sure the processing is slightly better, but still, I mean, it's comparable to the specs of that phone. Only 13 megapixels. You know the processing is not going to be as good because those APIs and things and the things aren't going to work as well. Um, That's the camera. So these aren't good camera sensors, okay? Like 12 megapixels is good, but for some reason 13 megapixels is cheap. Like you can even go on, you can go back in time, go read GSM. I mean, like, guys, go look at the J7 and J3 series of phones, which I like had for like 1 week. Which I had for 1 week. But those phones are not really good. Right, so the specs here are not good. Only 6-inch screen, 13 megapixel camera. The phone looks outdated. And you have the specs here. Like the problem is, apart from the overall issues with the Linux community and the overall lack of app selection, because people by and large have shown that they do not care about privacy, 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 is that the specs are trash. Okay, the battery is trash. 3,000 milliamp hours. It's being described as Samsung J7 form factor, a form factor that was released in 2016, a phone that was released in 2016, 8 years ago, when Emily Jones was running for president, and she didn't run for president, but she won her election in 2016, which you have to talk about over on the Odyssey point. So no, Microsoft. Google did not break the law. A form of duopoly. It said its only competition is phones like this with awful Linux communities, like just the overall Linux community. And people do not, by and large, do not care about privacy, 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 privacy being the one message. Meaning, if any company wants to step up and do it, it would have to be a big company that can do it, like Microsoft. And guess what? Microsoft failed, and it wasn't because Google didn't want its applications on there anyway. I mean, Microsoft doesn't even want you to use Google applications. You go on the Edge, like log in, you type in Chrome, you type in Google, and it will beg for you to use Bing. It will beg for you to use Edge. It will say it's faster and it's more power efficient or anything or things of that nature. It will literally beg you. Okay, even on the Google download Chrome download website, but Google doesn't have to do that. They're only on like 12% of computers worldwide and 50% of phones, and they don't have to beg. And if they can beat Microsoft, they beat them fair and square. If Microsoft wanted to build its own video sharing distribution application like competitive to YouTube, they should have done that. And when they do something, guys, Copilot I think is more popular than Gemini actually now. Even though Gemini is getting better because Copilot didn't have as many mistakes as Gemini did. So we are seeing healthy competition that's not being fostered by the Department of Justice. So is there any company that can bring it? Will X bring a true third-party mobile OS? I mean, we've been asking if people ask for Tesla phones. I don't know. Maybe they will come. Maybe they won't come. I don't have any inside information on that. But the truth of the matter is that these third-party Linux phones are not good. The death of the third-party OS is because of the bad advertising and the bad specs. So that's what needs to die, and it needs to die now. All right. Oh wait, no, I want the camera, so stop sharing the screen. There we go. That was our first topic for today. Let's see what other article we published. We also have another article that's coming